And you can start lying down if you want to, because we are going to move there for our first shape. So just either coming, if you want to sit for a minute or two, you can, but otherwise lying down in semi-supine position, let the feet rest on the floor so the knees are bent, and just really nestling your back into the mat so that you feel nice and comfortable. Lovely. Take a couple of deep breaths just to fully arrive into your body. Breathing all the way down to the bottom of the lungs. Settling in. So I'm hoping that you're glad that you have arrived, or you will be at the end of our session today. I've called this session Yoga Booty because we're going to be focusing around the glutes today. The glutes are great for stabilizing our pelvis, important for overall hip health, working in a way that we are protected with these strong muscles of the glutes around us. And we've got quite a few muscles in the glutes. We've got the maximus, which is the largest of the muscles, the medius, which is sort of the upper side area of the glute, the minimus, which when you see those really pert bottoms, that's responsible for the lift, the minimus of the bottom. And these two are significantly smaller than the maximus, but equally important in walking, balancing, one side leg weight bearing, you know, if you're doing balancing on one leg. And you've also got muscles like the piriformis, the quadratus femoris, and a few more inferior and superior muscles. So quite a lot to connect to around the butt area. And if we have a stable pelvis, the lower back is more supported, providing space for length throughout the spine. As we sit, our glutes are slightly stretched, and if they aren't sufficiently contracted and strengthened, they can become a bit weak, a bit like an overstretched rubber band. And in yoga, as much about stretching and opening the muscles, we also need to be strengthening them too. So if we have weak glutes, we might feel a bit tight in the hip flexors. It might even move down to give us knee pain, or move up to give us back pain. It can even go as far as the ankles and the feet. So that's where we're going to be working today. And of course, at any point, if that booty is feeling a little bit tired, please feel free to take one or two less breaths in each shape, so that you can really enjoy the practice as well as working into those glutes. So if you're still seated, just bring yourself down onto your back. Make sure you've got a brick handy, because we are going to be doing a bridge pose, and there'll be the option to support yourself with a brick. There's also the option to not support yourself with a brick. If you've got anything around the back of your neck, just make sure your ponytail's out the way so there's no restriction. Take the hands for a moment to the lower belly. Just feel down into the feet, start to take some nice deep breaths all the way down towards the belly, just allowing that space all through the spine as you breathe. Maybe the hands might gently rise as you inhale and fall gently as that belly releases and contracts on the exhale. Just a couple more breaths here. Notice if your glutes are relaxed at this moment, or if you're somebody that naturally tenses them quite often. And next time you're ready to inhale, just draw one and then the other knee into the chest. Wrap your hands around the shins and give yourself a gentle rock from side to side. Just paying a little bit of attention to how those glutes feel. And then leaving the knees close to the chest, release the arms into a cactus pose or goddess pose. Sorry if you're on a cold floor. And we'll float the knees over towards the right side and all the way onto the floor. Or you can support, if you do have a brick, you can rest the knees onto your brick. Try and relax both shoulders into the mat. Feel some length through the spine here as you rest down in this shape. As we twist to just open up a little bit through that left side. Lovely, one more breath. And then engaging the core to lift those knees up to center. Of course, you can use your hands if you need to. And then take those knees over to the other side. So if you are using a brick, just pop it to the other side. We don't want to be forcing anything here. So if it helps if the knees are a little bit away from the floor so those shoulders can relax, that might work better for you. Just feeling that opening up through the right side of the body. That lengthening through the spine, taking a couple of breaths. Next time you inhale, engage those abs to bring you back. Release the hands down by your sides. Bring the soles of the feet down onto the floor and wander them nice and close to your bottom. We're going to come up into a bridge pose in a moment. So plant those feet onto the floor. Just give the toes a little lift and a spread. Arms are resting, palms down by your side. Feel that length through the spine. And as you inhale, just slowly start to tuck the tailbone and peel the body off the floor, lower back, middle back and upper back. Pressing down into those feet and start to engage a little bit into those glutes, lengthen the tailbone. Take some nice full breaths here as you arrive in your bridge. And then next time you exhale, we'll slowly come down, lowering the back, the upper back first. Keep those glutes engaged, middle back, and then coming down onto the mat. We'll do that one more time. Breathing in, slowly coming up. All the way up into your bridge pose. Tailbones reaching towards the back of the knees. And the knees are in line with the hips, so we don't want the knees splaying out too much. You can imagine you've got a big beach ball between those knees, and you're just gently holding that beach ball in place so that the ball doesn't fall on the floor. You might already feel those glutes starting to wake up. Exhaling to slowly come down. Draw the knees into the chest. Give those muscles a nice stretch. Take a full breath in. And as you exhale, we'll lift the nose up towards the knees into coil pose, Apanasana. And then release the head and shoulders back down again. Place the feet back as if you're coming back up into bridge. Hands come by the side. If you've got a brick for this, you may or may not want to use it. Coming back up into your bridge pose. And we're going to draw one knee into the chest. So just wiggle the feet a little closer. If you want to grab a brick here, you can pop it underneath the pelvis. for support, and draw one knee into the chest and stretch that leg up towards the sky. So with or without that support. If you have got a little bit more to go, we're going to reach the heel a little higher, pulsing for 6, 2. That right heel reaches up, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Slowly lowering down, either onto the brick, right foot comes down onto the floor, or you can rest all the way down towards the floor. Take a little breather. And then we'll slowly come back up into bridge pose. Again, you can slide that brick underneath you if it's not already, drawing the left knee into the chest or the other leg, reaching that leg up to the sky, and then pulse 1, 2, really squeezing into that glute, 4, 5, 6, slowly lowering down. And if you've got a brick underneath you, just release it slightly, draw those knees into the chest, and give yourself a rock from side to side. Little rock and roll up and down. So you give the glutes a bit of a massage here as you rock and roll up and down the spine 3 or 4 times, nice and slowly. And we're going to come all the way over onto our hands and knees. And just centralizing yourself off on your mat. You can pop your brick to the side for a moment and come into a tabletop position. Beautiful. Again, knees come a little bit closer towards each other. Excuse me, I'm going to, excuse me, just clearing my throat. And we're going to, this is, I don't know what the Sanskrit word, term for this is, but peeing dog. Left knee is going to lift out to the side and then slowly come back down. And again, left knee lifting out to the side. You can look and say hello to that left knee and bring it back down again. Inhale, lifting. And exhale to lower. One more time, breathing in. And breathing out. Beautiful. We're going to stretch that same leg, left leg behind you, into your 3-legged dog. Draw the belly away from the floor so we're supporting here. You can hold it here or reach the right arm forward. Connect into the left glute. Breathe. And if the right hand is reaching forward, slowly lower it down. I'm just going to twist that right foot a little bit so we can open that left leg and hip and reach the left arm up towards the sky. So we're in a side half plank pose, reaching up. Yeah, beautiful. That left straight leg is going to pulse 6 times, just a little pulse up. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Lovely. Slowly lower it down, nice and straight. Lower that left hand down and we'll come up into downward facing dog. Easing out, have a nice pedal out here. Feel into the breath, feel into the backs of those legs. Just doing any movements here that feel nice for the body. Walking on the moon, just nice, slow, easeful movements. Letting any tension out through the neck, the jaw. Give the tongue a nice ah. And slowly lower both knees down onto the floor. So make sure the knees are padded if you need to. Release the toes. And we'll do our peeing dog on the other side. So lifting the right knee up, looking towards that knee. And then slowly bringing it down. Lifting up. And bringing it down. Lifting up. And bringing it down. One more, just like that. Good. Lifting up and bringing it down. Beautiful. Stretching that right leg behind you. At the same time, Just drawing the belly back towards the spine to support you. So it doesn't need to be super high here. Think more about length and support, connecting to the right glute, and maybe reach that left arm forwards. 3 rounds of breath. Lovely. Next time you exhale, left hand comes to the floor and we'll open up through the hip, floating the right arm up towards the sky. Lovely. And let's pulse that leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Slowly lower it down. Right hand comes down. Tuck the toes and ease back into your downward facing dog. Just pedaling out. Moving through the backs of the legs all the way up through to the glutes. Feel the side body stretching. Beautiful. So let's come through into plank pose. If you've got really tricky wrists this morning, please feel free to come down onto your forearms. And you've also got the option of lowering one knee. But from here in our plank pose, we'll float the right leg away and up, and then just lower it down slightly. And then we'll swap legs, bringing the left leg up and lowering it down. So we're not opening the hips here. We're staying nice and straight. Exhaling down, right leg lowers. Inhale left, connecting to that glute, and right leg down. So we're not in downward facing dog, we're in a plank. We've got one more each side. Gently lowering all the way to the earth, onto the belly, and sliding the forearms forward. So we're in our Sphinx pose. Just give those glutes a little wobble, a little wriggle. And then notice as you arrive in your Sphinx pose, does it feel better? Does it feel more supported if you connect into those glutes? If you give a little bit of a squeeze, does that help with the lower back? Or does it feel more open and free with the glutes relaxed? What feels safe and steady for you? Take some nice deep breaths here. You want to open up a little bit more, pressing down into the hands, open up into a cobra, and take another 3 breaths. Again, how does it feel in those glutes, this higher position? Do you need to just connect in a little bit? Keep that support, that stability in the lower spine. One more breath. Lovely. Exhale, slowly peeling down, and we'll press back into child's pose. So those knees can widen a little bit. Give those glutes a nice stretch here. Maybe a gentle sway, just to settle down into your child's pose, your balasana. Feel the breath washing over the back body, stretching out all the way through those glutes, through the back body, all the way towards the tips of the fingers. 2 more rounds of breath. Next time you inhale, rise up to tabletop position. We'll tuck the toes and lift up into downward facing dog. Keep the breath nice and fluid, bringing the big toe knuckles a little closer as we sweep the right leg up behind you. We'll bend the knee, so lifting that right hip, bend the knee, looking underneath the right armpit. Inhale to reach away, square off the hips and step through for a high lunge. So bring that right foot through, keep those back toes plugged in, engage in that left glute to help you lift up and float the arms up towards the sky. So nice and strong in the legs here, squaring off towards the front of the mat. Beautiful. Grounding down into that back leg, reaching the heel away. And we want to keep that length up through the spine. From here, we're going to keep that right knee bent, so right knee's tracing over that right ankle, and just step forwards into chair pose. So push off that back leg, step forward, hands can stay where they are, or they can come down towards the heart if the shoulders are a little bit tweaky. And then we'll step the same leg back, so left foot steps back, and if the arms are at the heart, reach them back up. Lovely. And again, stepping forwards into chair, weight into the heels, breathe. And that left foot steps back. We've got that one more time. Stepping forwards, chair pose. Quads are working as well. This time we'll forward fold, stretching out through the legs. Centralize yourself off on your mat a little. And relax down. Inhale to a halfway lift. We're going to step that left leg back again, but come into goddess pose. So as you step it back, start to bring the body up. Turn both toes out. Bring the arms into your cactus or goddess pose and bend the knees. Just settling in, nice and centrally. The bowl of the pelvis is vital in making sure that our movements are symmetrical. So it can really help if we've got strong glutes, preventing us from overcompensating one side to the other. Let's do 6 pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Beautiful. Star pose. Turn the toes forwards and reach all the way up and forwards into a forward fold. Let the head relax down. Make any sway movements if that feels nice to release the back of the legs and glutes. Or just be in stillness for 2 more breaths here. Lovely. Inhale to a halfway lift, open the chest, come up onto the fingertips, look towards those right toes, and we'll wander the hands all the way forwards, coming down into a lunge and push back into downward facing dog. Either taking a couple of breaths here or moving through a vinyasa if you want to keep that energy flowing, scooping through, or take a breather, your choice, listening in, tucking the toes, and pressing back into your down dog. Big toe knuckles wander a little closer. We'll breathe that left leg up behind us. Yawn it up, bend the knee, lift that left hip as you look left. Inhale to reach it away, square those front hip points off and step through into high lunge. Push down into the feet, slowly come up and reach the arms up towards the sky. Are you connected into that right glute? Is that left knee moving in the same direction as those left toes? Try not to pinch into those left toes. Relaxing the shoulders, take a breath in and a breath out. Next time you breathe in, chair pose, step forwards. Hands either reaching forwards or coming to the heart. Weight into the heels and then step that right leg back again into your lunge and reach the arms up towards the sky. Beautiful. We'll do that twice more. Stepping that right leg in, into your chair pose. This is when it's great to be a teacher, you see. I can just stop and watch. And then stepping back and reaching the arms up. Lovely. One more time. Coming into your chair pose. Holding it there for an extra breath. And then forward fold all the way down. Press those thigh bones back. Let the head relax. Take a couple of nice big breaths here. And we're going to step back with the right leg into our goddess pose again, turning the knees out. Lifting the body up, bending into those knees. If your arms are a bit tired, you can leave the hands onto the thighs here or coming into your goddess. Knees nice and wide. Feel those external rotator muscles working in the glutes, and let's take 6 pulses. 1, 2, 3. Relax the shoulders, lengthen through the spine. 5, 6. Stretch into star. Turn the feet parallel, and we'll clasp the hands behind the back. Nice big breath in. Open up through the chest. Lift those clasped hands away from the bottom as you hinge forward into your forward fold. Let the head relax. Push down into those feet, really feel grounded. One more breath. Exhale, release the hands down to the floor. Inhale to a halfway lift, open up through the chest. Front toes turn out as you wander the hands towards that left foot, bend the front knee and push back into your downward facing dog. Take a breather here if you need to, or move through that flow. Take your time using that breath to help guide you through those movements. Stay focused. Yeah, lovely. And exhale. Moving back. So thinking about that pelvis as the junction between our upper body and our lower body. So a supported pelvis, these glutes around the pelvis can really help upwardly and downwardly, all the way towards the shoulders and all the way down towards those hips, towards the heels. So slowly walking the feet towards the hands as we come into a forward fold. You might want to grab your bricks for this one. Might just be a little easier for support, but it's not essential. But just bring your forward fold a little bit higher. And we're going to stand on that right leg and slide this left leg directly out to lift up sideways and then slowly bringing it back. And I want you to try and keep the foot in the same angle. So we're not turning out the leg. We've got 4 on the left. Left leg lifts and left leg lowers. Breathing in to lift that left leg and breathing out to bring it back. Inhale, lift. And exhale, lower. That's 4 for me. You might have 1 more if you watch the first one. And then slowly soften the knees, release the hands from the bricks and just come down into a soft forward fold. Give the head a yes and a no. And then if you've got bricks, bring the hands back onto the bricks. Open up a little bit in the front body. Weight into the left leg and we'll slide that right leg up. And then bring it back down. Really good for glute strength, lifting up. And you might find you've got one easier than the other. Couple more, breathing in, lift. Breathing out to lower. 1 more, breathing in. And breathing out. Beautiful. Pop the bricks to the side. Soften down into a forward fold. Nice full breath into the back body. Soften the knees and we'll slowly come up to a standing position. Take your time. As you arrive, let's come into our Tadasana, our mountain pose. So really press down into those feet. Maybe a little connection into the glutes. Tailbone reaches down, widening that angle of the hips at your hip flexors, which makes your posture more tall and strong. Standing in your own beauty and strength. Mountain pose. 3 breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Breathing in. Breathing out. Inhale. And exhale, just softening the body a little bit. We're going to come into Garudasana, which is our eagle pose. This is this one. Yeah, we're going to do that in a moment. People are surprised to know, or some people, if you haven't sort of, it took me a while to, I kept thinking, why is this an eagle? And it's not. It's the pose isn't the representation of an eagle. In the ancient Ramayana, which is the ancient scriptures, this depicts the pose depicts a hero called Rama who is wrapped and bound by snakes. So this is this wrapping up. And Garuda, who is the eagle god, flies down and eats the snakes and frees Ram so that he can continue his battle with his wife's captors. So that's the I thought we'd get a little bit of philosophy in, being as it's all about the glutes. But that's so when we're doing this pose, we're bound in these serpents. So let's soften into the knees a little bit. We'll take the weight into the left side. Remember, if you've got anything going on in the hips and you need extra support, you can always keep that toe down on the floor. We're going to wrap the right knee over the left, and you may or may not get that extra wrap. And then here come those other snakes wrapping around and binding. So hugging into that midline. If you're a bit wobbly, drop the toes to the floor. Sitting down into the seat. Feel that stretch through the back body. 2 more breaths if that's okay. Garuda is flying down to free us. And then we can be released. It's a nice big stretch. Do anything with those shoulders, with the legs. Beautiful. Let's have a go on the other side. So softening into both knees, taking the weight into the right side, either just popping the toe over, or you can see if you can find that extra wrap. Right arm reaches over. Into your Garudasana. Nice full breaths, maybe even an Ujjayi breath here, so you can feel and hear that breath flowing through the body, sitting down into that right glute. Weight down into the earth, but also wrapping around that central channel. 2 more breaths. Don't worry, he's flying down to get us. And then slowly release. Giving those hips a little wiggle, give the shoulders a roll. Nice. Coming towards the top of the mat. Feet come together. And we'll move through a sun salute. So nice big breath in, sweep the arms out and up, stretching up through the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Take the hands down to the floor. Relax the neck. Inhale to halfway. Stepping back into plank pose. And moving through your vinyasa. So if you're starting to get tired, use the knees to support you. Opening up. And exhaling back into downward facing dog. As you inhale, sweep the right leg up behind you and we'll step through for warrior 2. Bring that right foot between the hands, lower the back heel and float out to the side. Lovely. Settling down into those legs, nice and strong. Maybe gazing down that right arm. 2 more breaths. Beautiful. As we inhale, bring the hands to the heart. We're going to turn both toes out slightly. Start to bend into that left knee and we'll come into Skandasana. So you may just want to come halfway. You may be able to get all the way down into Skandasana. That left heel may want to come off the floor. Nice deep stretch into those hips. Using the hands if you need to come back up, and we'll go all the way onto the other side. Again, maybe balancing, finding that opening through the glutes. One more time each way. Use the hands to support you as you move through the center. If you need to, that left heel may stay on the floor. It may need to lift. Relax the shoulders. One more time, over to the other side. Lovely. Turning to face the front of the mat, so swiveling onto those back toes, push back into downward facing dog. Either take a breather here, rest in child's pose, or move through your flow. All finish up in child's pose in a moment. Lovely. Pressing slowly back, either directly into child's pose, or you can have a stretch out in your downward facing dog, and then release all the way down. Just relaxing as much of the body as you can here. Give yourself this time to rest. Relaxing through the core, through the backs of the legs. Couple more breaths. If the arms are behind you, slowly reach them forwards. Make your way back into downward facing dog, nice and slowly. And then walking the feet towards the hands, we're coming to the top of the mat. Into a forward fold. Again, you can use your bricks here just on your mat if you need to. We're going to slide the left leg back into a standing split. So reaching that left leg all the way up towards the sky. And as you exhale, bend both knees and hug that left knee behind the right knee and just look forward slightly, lifting the gaze. As you breathe in again, reach that left leg back up to the sky into your standing splits. And then exhale, bend, bring everything in, hug it in. One more time, breathing in to stretch. And breathing out to bend. We're going to continue to sit down. So that left foot and shin comes down onto the floor. We're going to sit down onto our bottom. And you may finish up in this shape. If this is too much for the hips, just outstretch that left leg. Grow nice and tall. Big breath in, left arm reaches up. And we'll twist towards that right side, hugging around that right thigh. Dropping the shoulders away from your ears, grow tall. Take some nice, easy breaths here. Yeah, beautiful. Settling into stillness, just that ebb and flow of the breath. One more breath. From here, slowly releasing the twist, we're going to take this right leg all the way around to the back and finish up in downward facing dog. So tuck those right toes, push away, centralize off on your mat, have a little pedal through. Maybe lifting right up onto those tippy toes, give
Nice stretch through. Yes, and then over the head. And then wandering the feet towards the hands as we come forwards into our forward fold again. You can grab your bricks, low, medium, or high. And as you inhale, we'll slide the right leg all the way up and back into your standing splits. Reach it up. And as you exhale, look forward, bend that right knee behind the left knee. Bend both knees. Inhale to reach it away. Chest comes towards thigh. Toes reach away. Exhale, bring it in. One more time. Breathing in, stretch. Breathing out to bring it in. Keep continuing into your seated position. Drop the right shin and foot down onto the floor. Centralize yourself off. Oh, a nice little stretch into those glutes on the right side as you sit. Breathe the right arm up to the sky and twist to the left. Settling in. Just finding that right balance between effort and ease. Stay focused in the body, on the breath. Most of our work is done now. We're going to be doing some nice stretching out of the glutes. Oh, maybe just one more. She says, looking at her class plan. 2 more breaths. Exhale, slowly release the twist. Left leg goes all the way back around. Tuck the toes. Push back into your down dog. You can pop your bricks out of the way. Have a little pedal out. So this is our last active glute pose. Let's roll through into plank pose. Lower the knees, chest, chin, all the way down onto the belly. And slide the hands down towards the side of the body. So we're going to come into locust pose with the option of a little opening and closing of the legs. Just that final working through the back body, through those legs, through the glutes. As you inhale, we'll lift up. So lift the head, the chest, the belly, the legs up. And then open those legs away from each other. And then see if you can squeeze them back in. Opening up. And squeeze those inner thighs together. Opening up. And squeeze. We've got 3 more. And squeeze. See if you can close the thighs completely. 2 more. Exhale, squeeze. Keep the legs straight if you can. Inhale, open. And exhale, squeeze. And relax. Give your tail a wag. Nice, big, long breath out. Slide the hands slowly underneath the shoulders, tuck the toes, and exhale into down dog. A nice big stretch out of these glutes now through pigeon. Reach that right leg up towards the sky. Bring the right knee towards the wrist and slide that left leg away. This is a beautiful, deep stretch for those glutes. Take a breath in. Make sure the angle of your shin feels right for you, for your hips, for your stable pelvis, and for the stretch in the glutes, lowering slowly down. Feel all of those layers of muscles, all of those muscles I mentioned at the beginning, your maximus, your medius, your minimus, your piriformis, your chondrotus femoris, and all of those other ones that I can't remember the names of. Nice full breaths, all of those layers, just like an onion, we're letting go, stretching out.
Your piriformis is located underneath the glute muscles and is typically lays quite near your, just above your sciatic nerve. So it's one that's a really good one to work with if you have any sciatic problems. Just have to be careful not to build it up too much so that we don't push onto the nerve with that big piriformis muscle. But lots of yoga should help. 2 more rounds of breath. And you can come up into a downward facing dog if you want to take a slight back bend here. Just opening up, reaching back, catching hold of that left foot with 1 or with 2 hands, opening up just for a couple of breaths. And then slowly make your way into down dog if you're not there already. Have a pedal out, do whatever feels good here. And then we'll switch onto the left leg, reaching that left leg up and bringing that left knee forwards. For that nice stretch of that left glute. Big breath in. And exhale forwards, coming all the way down. Some nice soothing breaths here into those deeper layers of the glute. And focusing on the breath and the body. Use that as an anchor. And that letting go of all of those muscles that have been working hard around the pelvis. Two more rounds of breath. And as you come up, you can come straight up into your down dog or find your back foot. Coming into your opening a bit. Notice if there's any engagement here in the right glute for support. One more breaths. And then slowly release, pressing back into your downward facing dog. Nice big stretch out. Lowering the knees gently down towards the floor so we're in our tabletop position, and wander the hands even further forward into Anahatasana, heart melting pose. Just releasing the pelvis slightly, let the chest open, forehead rest down onto the floor. Hips come above the knees. A little bit of engagement around the back of the shoulders so we're not collapsing into the chest. But feel that sense of opening up through the heart, through the back of the bottom, lower spine. Lovely. Taking 3 more nourishing breaths here. And then very slowly wandering those hands back. Again, just making any little movements that feel good. Maybe a gentle cat-cow here just to release. Little circle of the hips. And then coming to sit, stretching those legs out in front of you. Sit up nice and tall. We'll draw the left knee in towards the chest and opening it out so the thigh sole is next to the thigh for our Janu Shirshasana. Again, a nice glute stretch here. Breathe in, face that right leg, reach the arms up to the sky, lengthen through the spine. Keep that spine long as you reach forwards into your forward fold. Just allowing the front body to soften over that front thigh. A little bit of oscillation for the breath, so you've got space for that inhale. And that long exhale, helping our nervous system to be soothed. Letting go of tension, whether that be physical, whether that's some mental tension, anything that you've been holding on to. Just use that stretch and that exhale to let go, to release. One more breath. And then we'll slowly wander those hands back, coming back up to a seated position, stretching the left leg forwards. Let's have a little wiggle about on those glutes if you need to, and then bring the right knee in. Open it out, foot to thigh, and then reach the arms up. Bring that right side of the body with you, so we're in a nice forward fold. Both sides of the body lengthening. Without judgment, without feeling that you need to be somewhere else, you need to be deeper in the pose, or you've got any tweaks, just allow them to be there with kindness and just breathe into that shape, however you have arrived. Couple more breaths. And then slowly wandering the hands up, stretching the legs out. Make sure you've got everything warm on. We're going to come into a figure 4 hip stretch. So anything that you need for Shavasana, bring it close. Let's give those knees a hug in for a moment. Just as we did at the beginning of practice, maybe a gentle rock from side to side, feeling in. And placing the sole of the left foot onto the floor, right ankle comes to left thigh, and we'll open up that right knee. And if this is as far as you want to go, just stay here, hands on the belly, breathe. Otherwise, picking that left foot up, sliding the hands either side of that left thigh. You can even wrap around the front of the shin if you've got access. But try and nestle the back of the pelvis back down into the floor. Feel that right knee gently opening and feel that beautiful stretch through the right glute. Relax the back of the head onto the earth. Feel the spine long and take some nice nourishing breaths here. One more breath. Exhaling, slowly releasing, draw knees into chest. Make any movements that feel nice for you. And we'll find that shape on the other side. So right foot comes down,
left ankle onto right thigh, just feeling that gentle opening of the knee. Resting here or coming into your figure 4. I like to activate my feet in this pose so that we're protecting around the knees, just flexing into those toes. Relaxing the back of the skull, long through the back of the neck. Pelvis is connected to the floor. Nice, everyone. 3 more breaths. Next time you exhale, slowly release, draw those knees into the chest. And as you extend the legs down to the end of the mat, I'm just going to wander them over to the left side, just to take a brief banana shape here. So upper body also reaches over to the left side. Legs and arms are stretched out. Just take 3 or 4 breaths in this shape, feeling that opening all the way from the right little toe through to the right finger, just to open up through the pelvis, through that side body. One more breath. And then wandering upper body back to center, legs all the way over to the other side, and then lift and open the body over to the right and take some nice full breaths into that left side. All the way from your left little toe through to the left fingertips. Couple more breaths. Wandering slowly back to center, draw those knees into your chest. Make any last movements, maybe a nice big stretch up towards the sky with the fingertips and the toes and the heels. Any little circles that you need to do, any rocks and rolls that you need to do, and then just ease your way down. One leg and then the other leg just opens up naturally. Maybe a little squeeze of those glutes, get nice and comfy in them, and then let them relax. Let the arms float down by your side. Make sure you're warm. Let everything go. For your final shape. No need to engage anything right now. Completely relax. All that energy, that work that we've been doing around that midpoint of the pelvic bowl, the glutes. All that beautiful energy flowing now. We've strengthened, we've stretched, we've contracted. So that that prana, that life force energy can flow smoothly between the lower and the upper body.
Just feel free to stay a little longer this morning if you have the time. Otherwise, we're going to start to just slowly wiggling the toes and the fingers. Stretching out the body, drawing knees into chest if that feels good. And just slowly making your way in your own time back to sit. Bring the palms together at the center of the chest. Thanking our glutes for this practice. Many yogis, including me, come to yoga often to stretch and open up the hips. It's good to, equally important to strengthen them as well. There's big muscles. And from injury prevention to sciatic pain relief to reducing knee pain, and also reaching our goals in terms of what we want to do in terms of our poses. That glute strength is quite a good one to practice, and it can also support us off of our mat as well. The light and love within me respects and honors that same light that shines deeply within you. Namaste. Thank you.